Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with WOR. This time around we're here with round 11 of the championship back at Imola. Yes, probably actually one of my favourite tracks on F122 to drive at, and I am going to give myself the kiss of death before we go into this and say it's hopefully one of my stronger tracks as well on this game. Of course, if you missed out on last week's race from Abu Dhabi, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But yeah, today we return to the Imola circuit. We're still actually in the championship fight. I'll pop the results currently up on your screens. But yeah, let's get into this though. 4 races left of the championship. We've got to make them count. Right, are we going to see some rain here at Imola? It's not impossible around this venue. It has happened before, and yes, we are. So, dry race apparently, ignore what the graphic's saying. But wet qualifying then here. Yeah, are we going to see that rain get lighter? Yes, we are. So it could be one of those sessions where it's just about trying to be the last car on the lap. But it's also just going to be about trying to get as much data as you can. Like I said, early on in this session, it's just about trying to get some laps in, sort of work out your footing and things like that. But as we get later on into the session, there might be a switch over onto intermediates. And that might be where the quick times come in. Let's just try and get some laps and some data under my belt. Didn't want to do that, good sir. That is your qualifying wrecked. Right, well, I've done 2 laps then early on in the session. That one has been a nice improvement over the first. Bumps us again fastest at the moment by, you know, a few tenths of a second. But now I'm probably going to have to do 1 battery save lap. Right, well, after a couple of failed improvements, we're going to try and give it one last run then on this first set of tyres. There's about another 6-7 tenths in the car, I know it, but it's just about trying to get that entire lap hooked up. This one, though, we're going to have to peel back to the pit lane. Not been the huge improvement I was really hoping for, but it will still be an improvement, and we will shoot back up to fastest then. Dropped about 3-4 tenths in the final sector. Oh, yeah, final sector. So that's pretty good early on. It's quite clear that in the rain, at least, we've got a decent pace. There we go, Mark just confirming intermediates is going to be the way to go. You can see the times improving on them. But it is just a case of how late do I want to leave it before we go out. And it might be one of those sessions where the last car on a lap has a big old advantage. 5 minutes left on the clock. I think I'm just going to start putting in the laps. I'm not too worried about trying to be the last car out there doing 1-digit run. We just want to try and get times on the board. Right, so I think the plan of action here then is 1 fast lap, 1 recharge lap, and then 1 more fast lap to finish off the session. Let's try and really get a good competitive time down. We are definitely on the money today. And first lap then is not going to be an improvement, so I think we're just going to have to do 3 all-out attacking laps. I don't think it's going to wreck the battery too much, but yeah, we just need to try and find time. Right in the final corner, second lap is going to be an improvement then. This might be good enough to set this provisional pole, but everyone else now is going to be going for their final laps. Luckily, I've got data. I know how the car is going to handle. A lot of people are stepping into the unknown. A little bit cautious at the final couple of turns, but it is going to be another big improvement there. 26.5 for myself. That's all I'm going to be able to do. But how much more time will other cars find? Come on. Oh, MEG's already gone faster. I'm barely back in the loading screen, and any hopes I had gone. Chris finding another 7/10 over him, so track is definitely still improving. And I've got to be honest, there was a tiny bit of me that wondered whether something magical was going to happen there. But of course, F122, faster league racers, yeah, that was never going to end the way I wanted it to. Well, there we go then. Interesting results from qualifying. Chris on the pole ahead of MEJ there. Myself in P3. Nail in 4th ahead of Barney. Fastest car on the wets. Jonah, Shindrick, Jordan, Trapp and Thomas rounding out the top 10. We need a good clean start here. Let's see what we can do ready for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Right, well, in terms of strategy then, here at Imola, I'm going to try and go for the the hards then over to the mediums. Not too sure whether this will be a track that we're likely to see a safety car on, but I just want to try and keep it clean and tidy. Stay somewhere near the front. 11 races in, I'm still yet to get a podium this season. I don't want to believe, but will it happen at some point? Come on. Well, we've already lost 2 drivers before we even get to the grid there. Barney and Adrian, I think, have both disconnected, but let's wait and see what we can do. Just got to try and keep it clean and tidy down in towards turn 1. I want to survive, and then wherever we end up from there is a nice feeling. 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go. And, oh, well, that's Barney's lag car, isn't it? That immediately has jumped everyone. So you head down in towards someone there. A couple of cars trying to find their way around the outside in towards the first corner. And we just got to try and keep it clean and tidy. I mean, I'm not quite sure that's how you take the lead of a race by Barney, but fair play to him, it's absolutely worked. And I think he's rejoined immediately then into the lead. Maybe that's the new meta on F122 is on. Oh, there we go. He's going to get his car jumps out of the way of a couple of others. I need to try and get past him before he gets back in. Oh, no, I'm not. Well, that's frustrating. So he has immediately got the jump on me then. But he might struggle early on there, as I can't let Chris and MEJ get away. I'm quite happy, to be honest, that they're both also starting on the hard compound tyres. But, of course, instant points as well. Track limits very, very easy around this circuit. So, yeah, we need to try and make sure that we don't get any incidents. As well, Barney, you can already see struggling. We'll get to the inside. I was not expecting to be making a move on the run down here on that one, but apparently so. Not sure he's going to be able to do much on the outside there. We'll swap back in, and he might have just been letting me by, of course, because he jumped me off the start. But yeah, MEJ and Chris already a long way up the road. I've got to try and stay within the DRS range. It's so critical around here. Oh, there we go. New fastest lap. That's what we love to see. He must have been fractions quicker than the cars in front. As yeah, Somber going much faster. And end of lap 3. DRS, of course, now enabled. We are still within the range, but will we see MEJ try and get a run on Chris? Well, hopefully we'll find out on the run back down towards turn 1. I haven't been able to get Trap out of the DRS range either, and I've used so much ERS even early on in this race. Here we go, MEJ. Oh, that's not recommended by that Red Bull, as MEJ will swoop through and into the lead. Well, I think something's happened to Niels, because now this 4-car gaggle at the front... this 5-car gaggle has turned into 4. Chris is definitely struggling to match MEJ at the front as well. Don't know if he's going to still be within the DRS range, but if he's not, that might make him vulnerable to me. Oh no, that's a big mistake. I might just have lost the range. No, I think we're good. Trap's still hanging close to me, and I'm trying to stay within the DRS of Chris. I'm still using way too much battery early on. I've got to make sure that I try and hang as close as I can for as long as I can. MEJ, yeah, has checked out at the front of the field. He's got that 1 second mark. But yeah, as long as I can just keep getting the DRS off Chris, of course, just a couple of handy tenths to have every lap. I've just got to try and hook up the middle part of the lap more. Oh, no, there we go. It's gone. I've lost the 1 second to Chris. Oh, no, actually, we might be able to get it back. I have no idea whether I'm in the range or not. We'll find out once we get around the final couple of turns. Hendrick's out. Got yellow flags. No safety car though, and somehow I've hung on to the DRS there to Chris, but I've got less than 10% battery. We are not in a good place. Oh no, there we go. It's gone that time. Unless Chris messes up the chicane. No way am I going to be able to stay in the range now, especially with that line. Oh, the gap's up to 1.2. It's going to be... I mean, Trap's surely going to fly past me at some point quite soon. We're quite lucky. There's a nearly 8-second gap back down to P5 there, which is Sabi. But yeah, I don't know really what's been going on. I've seen so many yellow flags early on in this race, but it just seems like every other car behind us has been struggling. In this little group of 4, it's an easy track to make mistakes on. Will we see Trap get a run back down towards someone? I can't afford to use any more battery at the moment. I think the top 2, unless they do something, are going to check out. And now it's a battle between 3rd and 4th. I did not have that on my bingo card. Sabi's gone. Hopefully, I mean, really in a race like this, I don't want a safety car, but I think Trap now has lost the DRS range to me. So we're all kind of just thinning out at the front of the field. Like I said, I'm really hoping in the position we're in, I don't want a safety car or anything to happen here today. But yeah, if we can just try and stay where we are, save up some battery, keep Trap at bay. We're doing alright. I'm concentrating so much though, I tell you what. I apologise, the commentary on this video is going to be appalling. But I am absolutely trying to laser focus in. Oh, Trap's made a mistake though. I've just seen that Delta jump up massively. Now we've got a bit more breathing room. And things I wasn't expecting to happen in this Grand Prix. We've actually closed back down the Chris over the last couple of laps. MEJ as well, that gap is coming back down. We are... I don't want to say it, because I really just don't want to jinx myself, but we are looking genuinely competitively paced here, which I can't say much this season, so I'm actually going to say it. There we go, 19.2. Used way too much battery out of the final corner, but anyway, we're looking pretty racy. Oh no, that's really stupid. 2 warnings in 2 corners. I don't even think that one we were over the white lines, but at half distance then, I've got no more of those. Trap very, very early into the pit lane then. Just half distance, so really wants to get off those hards. I actually find them quite a nice race tyre around this venue, but clearly others disagreeing. Probably going to extend this stint end of 18, end of 19. Just sort of see if we could potentially try and work a jump round Chris. Oh, that's not the line. It's little mistakes like that, though, that really upset the rhythm. Immediately, look at that. The whole gap that I just closed in, gone. Oh, there we go. Chris into the pits. I think we've got to try and push them on this lap. MEJ gap has started to open up once again, so we just had a weird few laps where I was really in the groove, but yeah, we're going to pit the end of this one. Let's see if we can try and get a jump. No, that's a penalty. Whoa, that's really not going to do me any favours either. Don't say I got another warning. Surely not. Just got to keep focus and don't start making it a habit. Make sure we get the car slowed down nice and tidy into the pit lane as well. We shouldn't be under much pressure from Trap behind. Still looking at the gap between him and Chris. Of course, we were about 1.2 behind Chris on pit entry, so Trap should still be a little bit further back. And, well, that's an illegal pit exit, if ever I've seen one. Unsafe rejoin or what by MEJ. McLaren team need to get themselves checked there. 2.3 second stop for us. Chris is going to fly back past, but yeah, as long as we can just manage the gap to Trap, of course, his tyres should fall off before mine do. Alpine car left stranded down at TOSA. I thought I was in second already, that's why I lit the throttle. But yeah, let's just keep Trap out of the 3-second range. We know we've got fresher tyres right the way through to the end. We've actually lost a lot of time. Come on. Gap's still 3 seconds. We've just got to match him. Chris is actually gaining in on MEJ at the front. Gap down to 1.3. If he can get back within that DRS, the fight for the win is not over. Less than 10 laps to go. Trap has dropped back then. Gap opening up to just over 5 seconds. Chris and MEJ, the gap's still fairly level to them in front. We've just got to bring this car to the flag. I'm trying not to do anything too stupid, trying not to take too many big risks. But yeah, I must admit, I do find Imola really, really good fun. Come on, 6 laps to go. Really just trying to bring the car home now in one piece. Trying to keep the gap to Trap up at 6 seconds just in case something happens and I pick up another penalty. It's floating around there, but surely his tyres now are going to be getting close to hitting the cliff. Not too worried about what's happening with the cars in front. Definitely not quick enough to match them. Oh, got a little bit of wobble there through the final corner. Do not want to do a Carlos Sainz. 4 laps to go. The pace has fallen apart late on. I really now am just trying to match track behind us there. Zomba from really quick actually in the Alpine. Luckily got 6 seconds worth of penalties as well, so if he wants to get ahead of me, he's going to have to be really even quicker, unless of course I do something stupid, jinxing myself, making sarcastic comments like that. Looks like Zomba's got the jump on trap with just 3 laps to go. Trap, yeah, really is struggling. I think those tyres have well and truly hit the cliff on that Ferrari. Come on then, round in the final corner, 1 more lap to go from Imola. Yellow flag's out. We've had so many retirements. It really has been such a race of attrition. But Jordan, I think, has just pitted onto a fresh set of tyres. But whether he was trying to go fastest lap or something, I don't know. But he's not going to get that chance, as he is now a lap down. But yeah, I never really quite knew what to expect when I came back to League Racing just a couple of months ago. Of course, we're still on knackered pedals then. But we were so unlucky early on this season. So many, I mean, I think we had the first 4 races where we were within a podium shot and then just something would come away from us, or I'd make a mistake and spin because I just had no feeling of what the car was doing underneath me. That was very scary for a brief moment, but yeah, since then, to be honest, my pace has not been so competitive in this league. I think I'm still trying to sort of learn out of the bad habits, of course, I had to develop to drive with those pedals, but yeah, last few races, of course, haven't really gone my way. But here at Imola, I said a few weeks ago, if I was to get on the podium, we'll watch through that random cinematic. It's going to be MEJ taking the win. We've seen that far too many times this season, but hats off to him. Despite being champion, he's just in his Sebastian Vettel 2013 era. Chris will come through for P2. Out of the final corner, though, it's P3. We're back on the podium, and I couldn't even lift to the line because I didn't know how close Trap was, but it turns out he's got a penalty as well. Yeah, you can kit your MEJ. Like I said, we've seen that far too many times this year, but there's Chris as well. But finally, look at that, an Alfa Romeo suit on the podium. Not really any point in that anymore. It's nowhere special. Considering I don't work with them, but we finally get the taste of some champagne in this championship, and it does, you know, in my own little title fight, it does me some good favours as well there. But yeah, hats off to Chris. He really has turned his pace around. You know, that unlucky near miss in Belgium early on in the campaign, of course, I think that's really motivated him, and he's been so strong later on in the campaign there. But MEJ, man, he's just so quick. Can't do anything about him in this league there. But you can see the Super Swede takes yet another victory. Chris just 2.4 seconds back. We come through for P3, 12 seconds away. Come the checkered flag there, 10 seconds clear of Trap. Zomba in 5th, Hot Speed, Thomas, Nail and Jordan rounding out our finishers there, sorry, and Lifeboat will still get classified by virtue of completing 90%. Barney, Adrian, Sarbi, Amber Bale, Shindrick and Jonah all failing to make it to the checkered flag this weekend. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well, and we will be back next week with more of our WOR League Racing action. Hopefully that's the start of many podiums to come. No, we'll savour that one because it's a slim chance we'll get another.